Afternoon, everybody. I got one more note for you before I head home. I'll probably post this after I'm home already, but this is the last couple of days in Ireland here. I'm in a out of the way corner of an out of the way coastal village in West Kerry, County Kerry, that I come to whenever I can. I enjoy this place, and it helps me think. It's kind of a if you look, you can find these stereotypically Irish Atlantic rainforest type of environments, and it's there's just something about it I really enjoy. So relaxes the mind in a way. A couple of overarching thoughts, observations from my time running from the width and length of the United Kingdom and now the Republic of Ireland as well. With regards to environmental programming, environmental initiatives, or just things in general to help farmers conserve and reestablish these places. And there is a hunger for this type of thing. Not amongst everybody, but of course you're never going to get everybody to think the same. But to me it's been heartening to see how interested different people are and how many different people are in whether it's a government environmental policy scheme, whether it's just something they're doing on their own farm, whether it's a local research extension group. They're all over the place, and it's been quite uplifting in that regard. Scale and diversity of different programs, different initiatives is quite profound. It's really interesting to see. But I'm finding that in both of the countries I've been so far, and thinking of some examples in Canada as well, part of that diversity and the kind of breadth of subject matter they're trying to address is can almost be it can almost be a barrier in itself. There's just so much going on. There's so many different areas of focus, and there isn't necessarily the support or the cohesion between these things to maybe have an outsized kind of make an overall difference. But that's the key: is investment in extension. Short of the people that are really keen on doing a project because it scratches an itch for them, or they've already drank the metaphorical Kool-Aid, as it were, to use a rather dark turn of phrase. Um, to get other people, you need extension. You need to communicate with the industry, the farming industry, the research industry, whatever. You need to show the lessons, and you need to learn from other farmers. And we know this, right? This isn't anything new. But I think what's been highlighted to me or reinforced, I should say, it's kind of maybe it's a bit of a confirmation bias, so bear with me here, but that extension piece in so many programs and in so many environmental or conservation initiatives, by comparison, is totally lacking, and that really is a problem. Farmers are business people; they're busy. They've got stuff to do. You're working on your day-to-day. You have financial constraints. There's only so much you can think about. So if you're going to try and make a difference from a conservation perspective, there's a new program that's come out, or I think about some of the things we've seen in Ontario where they're supporting grassland or the reestablishment of multi-species grasslands and so on and so forth. All this stuff is great, but if you don't have someone available to help facilitate that, help communicate what's possible, and follow up, the follow-up is so important in so many of these things. And if it wasn't there, then, you can throw all the cash in the world at a problem. But if you don't have any follow-up to actually help the person you're trying to engage fix that problem, well, what's the point? What's the point? And I see that time and time again. Okay, last thing, I promise. Have you ever noticed nature's kind of messy? It's doesn't really have a lot of clean cut lines and all these things. In the agriculture industry, in farming, we like the opposite. We like nice straight rows. We clean field edges. Over here, hedges that are regularly cut and shaped, and And a lot of time and effort goes into these things because the perception is, if the farm looks neat, if your livestock look a particular way, or if your field edges are just crisp, then you must be doing pretty well. And that's not necessarily the case. It seems like a long ingrained cross-culture understanding of what success, farming success, and farming business success looks like. Keep the nature at bay. And that is not compatible in a lot of ways with trying to accomplish and make strides in improving our environment. Whether or not your goal is to take something out of production altogether or try and incorporate something that actually boosts the productivity of the farm, the idea that something looks neat and therefore it must be doing better, that is not necessarily the case, and it comes up repeatedly, both on this side of the Atlantic and back home. Something to think about.